It's time to live life through the eyes of fit people so that you too can live a fit life yourself. This is Fit Because. I'm one of your hosts, Jennifer Zerling, but you can call me Jay-Z. I'm a fitness and age management expert, author, speaker, as well as an international health advocate.
And I'm your other host, George Beater. I'm an entrepreneur, cattle rancher, fitness enthusiast, and a 6-time rodeo champion who has a huge amount of knowledge to share with you in the area of self-improvement.
Oh, he does. Get ready to learn how to bridge the gap between knowing what to do and doing what it takes to become physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and financially fit.
You ready, Jay-Z?
Oh, I'm ready, George.
Let's dive in.
And we're back to episode 10. We have the power of gratitude on this awesome podcast and vodcast, Fit Because. And I'm here with my awesome partner, George Beater.
Hey, Jay-Z.
And I'm Jay-Z. And I am so excited to talk about the subject of gratitude because gratitude is the best attitude. And it's something that everybody needs to participate in on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So let's dive into the power of gratitude and what that means for you. And let's provide some really great examples today at some point in this podcast so that people see how we put into practice.
Absolutely. Probably timing-wise, it's fitting because we just got done with Thanksgiving. You know, and one of the traditions I know with our family and with probably a lot of families is that you get around the table with all this food and then you rotate around and comment on something that you feel grateful for on that day. Do you do that in your family?
You know, it's very interesting you brought that up because after Thanksgiving, I asked my guy, why didn't we do that? Yeah. I think that is so important. But to that point, I wasn't raised that way to go around the table and have gratitude. But when I was in the Midwest for Thanksgiving, we did that.
Yeah.
So
cool.
What a difference.
Yeah. Yeah, so really what we're going to talk about is living according to that spirit of Thanksgiving on a constant basis and how to make ourselves feel that way. Because probably, I know in my case, over Thanksgiving dinner, when we went around the table, and I was at my girlfriend's house for Thanksgiving, and when we went around the table, it just made me kind of light up listening to the things that people were grateful for. And then as I was listening to them recount the things that had impacted them in a positive way during the year that they were feeling grateful for, all kinds of things were coming up in me emotionally that I felt gratitude towards. And it was just an uplifting experience, I think, both collectively and individually. And so yes. there's an incredible power to gratitude. We're going to talk about what that power is. And then we're going to give actionable ideas on how we can make that shift into feeling grateful, which puts us on a vibrational level where we can receive more blessings into our lives and go faster towards whatever it is we're shooting towards.
That's right. So we're not just saying I'm grateful, but we're feeling
exactly,
gratitude.
Which is the key, right? To actually feel gratitude, not just say things that you're grateful for. Absolutely.
That's right. Now, have you been doing this your whole life?
Pretty much. I think so. As far back as memory serves. But I know as I've gotten into this self-improvement way of living years and years ago and been so thirsty to read and to absorb material relating to success, gratitude is a constant theme. Because when we get into a certain vibrational mode or a certain state where we feel empowered, it's never because we're feeling sorry for ourselves.
Ever.
It's because we're feeling empowered by things that we feel good about or grateful for. And so if we, and when we get in that state where we feel totally empowered, and everybody's felt that way at some point in their life, I'm sure. Yeah. You can think about when you feel like you can handle any problem, or you can bust through any challenge, or you can overcome any adversity, or you can continue to maintain incredible momentum during moments of victory. Those are not moments when you're thinking about what's wrong with you. You're thinking about what's right with you and the world. And so when you get grateful, you get powerful. And gratitude always negates any negative emotion that you're not wanting to feel. We have to get grateful, and that automatically dismisses the negative emotion that was limiting us.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that.
Yeah. And, you know, a lot of people are always striving to be happy. So I think with happiness, I I think that stems from understanding that every single moment that comes our way is a gift.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if we look at those moments as gifts, then the gift of that moment is the opportunity that lies in each moment, and that gratitude of being able to change anything in the next moment and not feel like we missed out on anything, or that, life provided us with a certain circumstance. But if we want to change anything, then there's always that gift of that next moment that lies ahead.
Yeah, I think that's why it's been called the mother of all virtues, gratitude.
Yeah.
And so let's talk a little bit about, as far as gratitude, what that does, why it empowers us.
I would love that.
What it does. First of all, when you think about gratitude and how we're taught to be grateful, and those of us that have a base of religious faith, whether it's in God or really whatever your God is, or if you're a Christian or whatever. And again, we don't endorse any specific sect or religion or creed, but whatever you believe is a higher collective power. When we're grateful, that connects us to that power, right? It's kind of like when you have a child, and I have 4 kids, when they express gratitude to me, it connects me to them. I feel this loving connection to my kids at moments where either I'm expressing gratitude to them or they're expressing gratitude to me. It's always reciprocal. It's one of those win-win scenarios in life where both people are empowered at the same time when gratitude is being expressed by either end.
Yes.
In a relationship. Okay, so think of that in relationship to your the infinite intelligence, or to God, or to Christ, or to whoever you worship or look to as this creative power that loves you and wants you to be all that you can be.
Yes.
Whatever you believe that to be. As you express gratitude, that is a conduit now to that entity, or to that power, or to God.
So let's dive into like a typical day. Okay. People wake up early in the morning. They got a lot to do. They got to get to work on time. Okay. Work goes bad. Everything in their day is crazy. At what point are they supposed to connect to that higher power?
Wonderful. Wonderful. Let's talk about that. We either pray or meditate, right? If we are serious about being successful humans, we have to get quiet and we have to organize ourselves. We can't just start in chaos.
Yes.
So every day, a lot of us will roll out of bed and we'll say our morning prayers, or we'll go to a quiet place and we'll meditate. Whatever we're doing to commune, if we are expressing gratitude first, that opens up the doorway for more blessings to roll.
Right.
In fact, when you're taught to pray in the church that I was raised in, there's a format that we're taught as little kids in how to pray. And we're taught first to thank God for the things that we're thankful for, then ask God for the things that we need, right? And I think that's not random that order exists, because when we express gratitude, that opens that conduit for more blessings to flow.
Right.
And if we believe there's a God or a creative power that wants to bless us, as we express gratitude, that conduit opens up. Now we can receive more. We can't receive more of things that we are not conscious of.
That's right. And actually that aligns in business. Because,
definitely,
you realize because I used to manage employees, and I remember the whole sandwich effect. Are you familiar with that? So stating a very positive thing about that employee.
Right.
And then sandwiching with the thing that needs to shift.
Right.
And then sealing the deal with another positive.
Right.
And it's not from a, non-authentic way, of course. You truly appreciate that employee for showing up and providing the service that they do right, so that they leave that meeting with that energy of, I want to shift for my boss because she has so much gratitude for me and for my position and for what I offer this company. So I want to make that change.
It's always reciprocal.
Yes.
That's the law. It is. When we express, like in a partnership, you have a girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife relationship. When you express gratitude, that always comes with a feeling to reciprocate. Everybody wants to feel appreciated, right? That's a human need. We all live under that condition of need to be appreciated and validated. And when you are, when someone expresses gratitude for something you are or something you have done, that makes you want to do more be more, doesn't it? It's a motivating force, right?
Yes.
And again, on our road to success, we're going to have adversity, right? That's a part of the process. And we're going to talk about persistence or how to become more persistent towards our goals in our next podcast. But wherever it is that we're trying to go, whatever our better life is for us, which is going to be different from person to person, we're going to have moments where we doubt. We're going to have moments where, things don't go the way we hoped they had gone. The old saying is, men make plans and God laughs, right? And, the most well-made plan is no match for the mess of reality. I mean, things just aren't going to go according to plan, and we're going to get knocked off beat, and we're going to feel despondent, defeated. Sometimes we're going to feel cheated. We're going to feel whatever, a negative emotion. We're going to feel stopped in progress.
Right.
Gratitude is a way to shift back into that empowered feeling and get us going again, to create momentum again towards what it is that we want to be, do, or become.
Yes. I mean, look at how we had the California fires this past week. Yeah. And right away, just the gratitude for the firefighters risking their lives.
Absolutely.
But how about the people that lost their homes? Like, what do you suggest for when there's tragedy and something that's so out of your control?
Right.
How do you arrive at a place of gratitude so you could regain that connection to your higher power, even though you just lost memories and a physical space that provided you with safety?
Right. I mean, it's interesting. When Thomas Edison was alive and he had his whole factory burned down where he was doing all his inventing. And he was asked right after his facility burned down, what are you going to do now? He says, I'm going to begin today to rebuild. So in the process of rebuilding our lives after tragedy, like victims of the fire, if we make inventory of the blessings that we still possess, right?
Yeah.
We go back to that, to the inventory list, that we can still breathe, that we can still see, that we still have opportunity, that we still have our loved ones with us, thank goodness.
Right.
If we didn't have anybody perish in that example or scenario, we inventory the blessings that we still have, and then we build from there, right? Because now we're empowered, now we're inventoried on what has gone right, and now we move forward into a plan, which we'll talk about the process of how to become more grateful, because there are steps that we can use.
Oh, I love that.
To become more grateful, but inventorying your blessings that do exist in the moment of adversity will shift you from just sitting there feeling bad to moving forward again with power and faith.
Right, to rebuild your foundation.
Yeah.
I run an after-school program called JK Living. Matthew McConaughey sponsors it with multiple investors. Drew Brees is involved.
Yeah.
And we actually have the kids sit down. I mean, they're high school students, but they sit down after we go over the announcements and whatnot, and we do a gratitude circle. And sometimes, and these kids come from, broken homes, some of them were once in gangs. And I remember this one young lady, she was laying on the floor, and she's, it was her turn to go. And I said, what are you grateful for? And she says, I'm not grateful for anything. And she refused to speak, know. And, fast forward, I didn't embarrass her. I basically said, okay, next. So we moved on. And I went up to her afterwards. I said, are you okay? And she said, no, my best friend's in jail, and it's very upsetting to me, and that's why I don't have any gratitude. When your best friend is taken from you, what is there to be grateful for? And I said to her, everybody in that circle looks up to you. Everybody sees you as a strength, as a pillar of strength. You're a rock, and you deserve to reflect on, like you said, your blessings in these times where your friend is taken away from you, because you have your sister in that gratitude circle. You also have all these other students that are listening to your words, but you also deserve the opportunity to rise above this tragic time. And, she agreed. And the very next week, she had 4 things she was grateful for, so I love this subject. And I love that Matthew McConaughey incorporates that into his after-school program.
That's so cool.
Yeah, teaching them young. I mean, I didn't have that in high school.
Yeah, Napoleon Hill in Think and Grow Rich, he talks about that in relationship to relationships. He said, there's no such thing as to have truly loved and lost, because there's something to be gleaned from every experience where love existed at one time, right? We build upon that. There's something we can treasure. We can remember things that empower and enrich our lives. So again, he contends that there is no such thing to love and completely lose. Yeah. If you have loved, you've been blessed.
That's right.
And now you're prepared for even, greater experiences with other relationships.
So if love has been dimmed because a friend's taken away
Yeah.
or,
Yeah.
what's the first step?
Well, the first step is knowing that you will cherish and not take for granted the next friend that enters into your life, right? Because when you've been through something like that, that's heart crushing, then when you now enter a new similar experience or a new relationship in this case, you will appreciate that relationship in a way you couldn't have pre-tragedy, right? So there's always two sides to each of those coins. And so in life, in being grateful, we have this law of contrast. And we realize how things could have been so much worse for us, or how the bad experiences in our life have now colored the good experiences of our life with more juice, with more gratitude, right? That helps us with that principle of every adversity brings with it the seed of an equivalent or greater success, which is key to all great people. They see their setbacks like that. Like there's something.
As opportunity.
Yeah, it's something to propel them as a stepping stone, right? There's something there to uncover to give you momentum to do even better, right?
Right.
And so that's true in lost relationships. That's true in people that we lose from our lives. It's true in devastating setbacks that are fair, or as we see them, maybe unfair. There's growth to be obtained. Now, one of the things that we can do as we go through our day is practice saying thank you more, right?
Love that. 100%. For the littlest of things, even someone opens the door for you, thank them.
Yeah. Or even you're at the convenience store and you just say, "How's your day?" As you're getting, your stuff that you're purchasing.
Of course.
And you say thank you, right? Give a little bit more for tips, right? And thank someone that served you in a way that wasn't ordinary, right? Just look for things to be thankful for. Get up in the morning and stand up straight and say, thank you, my greater power or God in this case. Thank you for life today. Thank you. Thank you. In fact, in the book, The Secret, that probably a lot of our listeners have either listened to or
you bring that up a couple times.
Yeah. Of course, it's all based on this law of attraction issue, and the biggest chapter is gratitude. In fact, the book that Rhonda Burns, the author, that she references all the time is the 1910 work, Science of Getting Rich, by Wallace Wattles.
Okay.
And she, in that book, he talks about gratitude is the biggest chapter. And she talks about gratitude being the most empowering principle towards success and towards this law of attraction, where we want to attract the things into our lives that will make us ultimately happy and empower us in the world. Okay. And so she talks about the exercise of getting up in the morning and saying thank you, and then thank you as you walk into the bathroom and you're starting to assess your blessings. You're alive and the sun's shining and you have this house that you get to sleep in, and you have that comfortable bed that you just got out of, right? And you get to eat this breakfast that you're blessed with, that some people don't have breakfast this morning, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Just start saying thank you as you get up in the morning, and look for excuses to say thank you during the day in your workplace.
Yes.
Little things that are done, make sure that you're thanking people. That's one thing, I deal with clients. I personally deal with clients in my business life, and I always conclude our meetings with thanking them for the trust that they put in me. Right?
I love that. Me too.
Yeah. Always thank them. And I always tell them that I'm grateful for their example and grateful that I get to work with them and be a part of their life.
And that they chose you.
Yeah.
I was rear-ended the other day, and I thanked her actually before you and I met today for helping me get my car resolved. A lot of people would probably be very angry that they had the inconvenience of having to drive to the dealership and get everything arranged. But I was just so grateful that she was cooperative and didn't put up a fight and made sure that everything was taken care of. So
absolutely.
You're right. You hit the nail on the head. You just got to thank everyone for everything that they provide for you, because we can't take anything for granted.
No question. There's no question. So a couple of actionable ideas. First of all, we have to accept, if we're going to be truly grateful, we have to accept that there is a God or a greater power. Right? It's going to be different for each of us and our belief systems, but something bigger than us, right? a creative force.
What if somebody doesn't know what that means? Like, let's
Yeah,
just say they
yeah.
grew up in, a church or a temple, but they just don't feel connected to that. And
Yeah,
you
I
say
get that.
higher intelligence.
I totally get that.
How do you
right?
access that higher intelligence for those people who don't have that accessibility?
Right. Okay. You can just believe in something, even if it's a collective consciousness, the world at large or whatever. You believe something bigger than yourself. Like there is some energy in the world that we all can see, right? There's some energy that makes the acorn grow into an oak tree, right? There's some energy that creates all of this miracle constantly evolving around us. There's something going on that we have no control of that's wonderful, right?
That's very true. So how the sun sets every day and the moon changes throughout the month.
Right. This miracle that we don't control, that we didn't create, that created us, whatever it is. We those of us that have belief systems and call it God, that's wonderful. But whatever you believe that's bigger than you, you want to connect into that, right?
Ultimately, so you don't feel alone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And you feel like you're not just at the effect of it all, right?
Yeah.
That there's something supporting you, something that wants you to be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And those of you that are searching for that, let me just give you my little weight saying that there is something that cares about you, something bigger than you, something that loves you, something that created you. That's my faith.
Yes.
Okay. So you believe in that power, whatever it is to you. Okay. And you believe that power wants you to succeed and wants you to evolve, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the whole world is evolving. You think about it. I mean, every growing thing grows, starts one place, ends another place. Mm-hmm. We're all in some type of state of evolution as an individual. And human beings are supposed to function. Our brains can adapt and grow and solve and lead us to be happier. So we start there and we believe that. And we believe that this personage or this God or this power will be as active in our lives as we let it or him or her be.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And that we connect best with this power or with God in the case of our faith.
Yes.
By being grateful. That's like starting place. That's where the conduit opens, is when we get grateful. Then we get a greater flow. Then we get on that vibrational state that more blessings can flow.
Yeah.
Once we're grateful for where we are and what we have, and we're cognizant of the blessings in our lives and not ignoring them or taking them for granted.
And in my faith, we actually have a morning prayer. It's only 2 lines, and it's exactly what you just said. We're thanking God for another day.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting me, open my eyes today, God.
Yeah.
And, again, we're not pushing any specific religion by any means, but it really works well because especially with, my kind of schedule as an entrepreneur, I'm all over the place all day long. I trained my clients this morning. I'm here recording this, and then I have several classes after this podcast. But if I didn't have faith and I didn't have belief in gratitude for having the ability, even though I lost my voice, teaching 15 classes this week, I'm just grateful that I could speak. And I'm grateful that I'm able to take my life one moment at a time and not stress about all the things that I have to do because I know he's going to carry me through that.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. And gratitude too, if we can, accept those concepts, we also can become cognizant that gratitude is a habit. It's a habit that empowers us.
Oh, it's a habit.
So it's something that we have to practice and we have to get more repetitive at or towards. So gratitude is something like, if you're not used to making gratitude lists of things you're grateful for, or you just kind of do an inventory and think, gosh, I don't say thank you very much or enough. Then start putting that on your goal sheet. We talked about the pie in previous vodcasts on how to organize your time under time management segment. We'll start putting down things to be grateful for. Gratitude list is a part of that, and things that you can do to express gratitude.
Yes.
During the day, right?
Yeah.
I mean, go ahead and do that intentionally, not just happenstance as it happens. Think, pre-plan, gratitude moments.
Yeah. And I do.
You're going to have a great day if you do that.
Yeah.
I promise you.
I do nutrition coaching. People hire me to learn how to eat correctly.
Yeah.
But in their nutrition log, they are required to write 2 things, and it has to be different every single day of what they're grateful for. And it forces the client to do exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And I see the most beautiful things. And literally
I'll bet.
sometimes I'm like in tears because these people just pour their hearts out. And, it's so cool to watch people open up from a place of, I don't like where my life is going, but now I'm forcing them to look into gratitude.
Yeah.
It's so powerful, guys. If you don't do this, this is the very first step. Everything that George is saying it's just going to lift you up the second you start.
Yeah. And, so when you're making those gratitude lists, I would also recommend that you go ahead and list some little things and some big things. I mean, there are big things we're grateful for. Grateful to be alive. That's a big thing, right? We're grateful to be like here in a free country where we can express ourselves, right? Which is a wonderful thing, right? And all the people, grateful for the people that paid the price for this freedom that we enjoy. And sometimes we're all guilty of taking for granted. But also the little things, grateful that you want to eat something healthy and they sell bananas at 7-Eleven, right?
Bananas are high sugar, George. So you better go work out in the gym if you're eating bananas, right?
Well, there's bad and good and better choice. Let's put that under the good choice, right? It's not the worst.
We'll do that episode 12.
If you're craving a banana, right? Anyway, that type of thing. Just the little things throughout your day that you enjoyed. I mean, be grateful for. Be grateful that you caught that green light when you need to catch a green light, right? Because you're needing to get someplace and there's this parking place.
Oh, that's the best.
Make sure that you say, thank you,
Oh, I do. I love that.
Yeah. And as you go through your day, look for those little things. And relationally, be grateful for people that support you because we need that. And we're going to talk more about that as far as how to maintain persistence towards goals is, getting our network put together of people that are supportive.
Yeah.
Is so key. Be grateful for those people that believe in you, that want to believe in you, that still believe in you when you have moments where you weren't at your best, but they still believe in you.
Yeah.
Be grateful for that.
100%.
Right?
They never gave up on you.
Right. Be grateful, if nothing else, for the ability to change when you've messed up, because we all mess up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I tell people that, we have emotional scars and we have actual physical scars. I'm going to probably win most contests when we count scars because I've had lots of surgeries and I have lots and lots and lots of scars, right?
Aww.
But I tell people that scars are the strongest connective tissue, right? So because that's the way our bodies work, inside and out. Once we've been injured, then there's that extra layer of scarring,
protection.
Right? To protect you from having the injury again.
That's right.
Like you break a bone, when the bone heals, there's that calcium around that break, right? To reinforce that part of the bone that broke so that you don't repeat that break, right? That's the way that we are. Well, emotionally, it's the same thing. We mess up. Well, what's the blessing in messing up? We recognize what we've done that was not empowering or good or didn't bless us or other people in the way that it could have. We'd have made a different choice.
Yeah.
And then we consciously make new choices and we have the power to change. Sometimes we need to just be grateful that the story's not over and we get to write the next chapter and we can change.
Yeah.
And we're grateful for that.
Yes.
Even if we went through a moment where we didn't behave the way we should have behaved.
Yeah. And the end of the book isn't until we leave this planet. So.
And every challenge makes the ending better, right?
That's right.
Right? Every great story.
If you choose that.
Right. If you don't quit. Every story has the same flow to it if it's a great story. It has the original goal or dream, it has the struggle, and then it has the victory, right?
Yeah.
And the victory can't be sweet without the struggle in the middle. So we're going to go through the stuff. Be grateful even when you're going through the stuff.
Yes.
Learn to shift yourself back to the things that you're grateful for, because we always have them if we learn and train ourselves to search them out and look for them.
Love that.
That's it. Let's be grateful.
Let's be grateful, George. I'm grateful for you.
Boom. You too.
This has been Fit Because, hosted by Jennifer Zerling
and George Veeder. Be sure to follow us on social media at Fit Because Show on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
And for past episodes, be sure to visit our website at fitbecause.com.
Also, please subscribe to our show on iTunes and be sure to rate and comment. You may always request topics for our subsequent episodes.
And if you love this episode, please share it with someone you love so that we can continue spreading our mission to help people be fit.
Until next time, take care of yourself and know that your future is
Fit Because.